is. So as you know, the user interface is using Figma. So we've got Figma here. So for the fresh start, you need to go in and create some of your UI components that you may not have. And you definitely need to have an edit form, an update form, and of course a card for the objects that you're using. Now I'm going to call my object something generic like Fox, and so I'm going to go ahead and option drag these things up, and so we're going to make sure that it's detached. So when you option drag, make sure the object is detached and not attached to your previous thing. And then I'm going to call this just Fox directly, because that's the one object that's going to have it. And then I'm going to delete this. And then I'm going to take the nav bar, make a copy of it, option drag, and then I'm going to make sure that it doesn't need to be detached, and this doesn't. So I'm going to take the original one and then I'm going to delete it. This is just to keep some things clean. You don't need to delete the one that you copy from. And then I'm just going to call this, keep that to be navbar. And then finally, on the edit profile, I'm going to option drag it, make sure it's detached, and then go to the original one, and I'm going to remove it. So then I have this one, and I'm going to call it, this is going to be UI this is going to be called UI new Fox. This is going to be called Fox. My nav bar will be called nav bar. And then I'm going to make another one of these, which option drag. And this I'm going to name, make sure it's detached. Okay, it's not attached to anything. And then I'm going to make it UI, and this is going to be called edit Fox. Okay, so I've got all the things that I need, and on each of these you could see that it's gray, so I'm going to go ahead and notice how when I select them from the browser to the left, and I'm going to create component on each of these. So I've got the create component, got this one, and I'm going to create component, and then I've got my nav bar, and I'm going to create component. So I've got components made for all of these. So for each of these, just for the sake of our tutorial, I'm just going to have a name, an ID, or a number. I'll just call it number. No, I'll call it ID, and then an image location. So that's for my new Fox, I want to do the same thing. name. This is going to be called ID, and this is going to be called image. It's my image location. And up here for my, this is my new, so this is I'm going to call it create a fox. And then for the image, I don't want to really mess around with this very much. Let's move this over a little bit. It's my new fox, my edit fox. Just gonna make sure it just says edit. And then here, I'm gonna delete that. Okay. And my nav bar, I want it to be showing above. This is a phone size, and I want it to show right above my other piece. And so I'm going to, let's see here. See what I got here to the right. Notice how the best way to access things is from the browser on the left and not otherwise. So I'm going to this company, applications. This frame I just want to make really small. And then I'm just going to take out the word logo. And then I'm going to bring this in here. Let's see. So my nav bar is 320, just like my Fox card. And then my two UIs, I'm going to actually, I am going to delete my new Fox, and I'm just going to make, because I want to drag this down to a smaller width. So I'm pulling this down to a 30. Okay, that's good. Oh, well, actually, I'm gonna bring that back that I removed. There you go. And then I'm gonna bring this down to a 30 since it was so easy. I mean, 320, that was super easy to do. And then I'm gonna do the same thing, and then I'm gonna just make it again. So I'm going to option copy this down here. This one we'll keep as the edit, and this one I need to detach it, and then I'm going to call it UI new Fox. There we go. And instead of edit there, I'm going to put create a fox. Okay, great. And I didn't make this a new component, so I'm going to create component. Okay, so that's what I've got, my 4 items that I need, and I'm done with that. I'm going to get the share code because we're going to need that straight away, and I'm just gonna copy the link. And when I copy the link, the best thing to do is I just paste it into a text edit, and then I just get out all this extra stuff at the end. All that the studio needs is this piece right here. So we got that little piece saved, and I'm done with my UI work. So that's all you had to really do. That's pretty simple. And I'm going to end this video right here, and we're going to start up at this point. We're going to start up at the point of importing this into Amplify Studio. So I'll see you in video 2. Goodbye. Video 2 of Fresh Start. Goodbye.